among the lost graves of the Painted Desert. Let us now turn to the quiet places, the places where the wind remembers more than the living do, where time has erased names, but never the stories written in the dust. In the wide expanse surrounding the Petrified Forest, beyond the marked trails and paved roads, lie forgotten graves, small, solitary, and scattered like whispers across the desert. They are not gathered into tidy cemeteries. They do not wear the polished stone of cities. Instead, they rest beneath the open sky, in the shadow of mesas, along abandoned tracks, and in the lonely valleys where the Painted Desert stretches out like ancient tapestry. These are the graves of pioneers, of wanderers, of railroad men and homesteaders who came seeking a life at the edge of the world. Here, survival was a daily covenant with the land, brutal, honest, unforgiving. Some found fortune, some found ruin, as some found their final resting place far from home. Down in the dust of Adamana, the ghost town once called the gateway to the Petrified Forest, lie the bones of a forgotten community. It was bustling once, alive with the clatter of train wheels, the shouts of railroad workers, the hum of everyday tourists seeking the wonders of the petrified wood. But when the rails moved on and the desert reclaimed its own, Adamana was left behind. Only a few graves remain, wooden markers splintered by sun, stone markers softened by wind, stories half remembered and names half lost. Not far from the Puerco Pueblo, long before the first pioneer ever walked this land, the ancient people buried the loved ones with reverence, not in cemeteries, but in sacred ground near their homes, their villages, and their lives. These Puebloan burials are not tour sites. They are memories sealed beneath the earth, protected, honored, and felt more than seen. Where petroglyphs watch the horizon in silence, the spirits of the ancient ones are said to linger in the wind, not haunting, but remembering. And south of the park, near the traces of old Navajo and Hispanic homesteads, lie graves marked only by hand-shaped sandstone or the simplest of wooden crosses. Markers carved by fathers, mothers, husbands, wives, who had nothing else to give but the strength of their grief. There are graves of ranchers who chased water across the Badlands, of children taken too soon by the desert winter, of travelers who never finished their journey along the early roads. Some are known only to the land itself. Follow the ghost of old Route 66 and you will find more. Graves without headstones, memorials without names, stories swallowed by time. Some belong to those who died in sudden accidents on the Mother Road. Others to families stranded in a land they did not understand. Their fate sealed beneath the same open sky that dazzled the dreams of millions. These graves, scattered, forgotten, and unclaimed by maps or monuments, are chapters of a history written outside the boundaries of the park, yet bound to it all the same. For this land is a keeper of memories. Even now, if you stand in the stillness of the desert twilight, you can feel it. The hum of ancient footsteps, the grief of homesteaders burying their dead, the grit of railroad workers whose names never made it to marble, and the echo of a time where life out here was a gamble against the unforgiving wind. These graves remind us that history is not just the story of victorious, it is the story of the vanished. Not only the celebrated, but the forgotten. Not just those whose names we speak, but those whose names the wind must carry. So today let's honor them, the unnamed souls resting beneath the vast desert sky. The pioneers swallowed by silence, the ancient ones remembered by the earth itself, the travelers and settlers who lie in lonely places, unvisited but never truly alone. For as long as the Painted Desert glows under the sun, As long as the petrified trees stand like guardians of time, as long as the wind whispers through the sage, their stories remain. Here in the land of memory and mystery, no grave is truly lost. Not while we remember, not while we speak their names, even the ones we do not know. Something to think about and study on. Have a great day, guys.